Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's good to see you, first of all.
Right.
Technology is amazing. You know, when I went to the World's Fair in 1963
Uh-huh.
in New York, they had this big computer, and it talked about how we would be able to see people through a computer. And I said, no way. They even had a sample cell phone, I mean, a portable phone. I said, no way. I was a little girl. And this was around Star Trek. You know, Star Trek had the flip phone,
Oh,
and
right.
and I thought, oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing? And here we
My
are.
goodness. Yeah, now we have like a little break, right?
Yeah.
Now we can
Yes, it's
see each other.
yeah.
I do miss you though.
Yeah, I do too. You know,
Yeah.
we were on a roll. You know, it's it's so
I
unfortunate,
know.
but the roll will come again. Things will
Yeah, of
be.
course. I think we just have to figure out how to do the stuff online.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, there's
yes,
definitely a song coming this month. It
yes,
has to.
yes, yes, yes. Fallen trees, and
Yeah.
I'm writing more lyrics. When I go out, when I walk every day, I'm always thinking, and I come back and I jot down my thoughts,
Hmm.
and so that's where all of my stuff is coming from.
So where have
Yeah.
your thoughts been? What have you been jotting down when you're
Well,
walking?
just you know, just what I see in nature. Like yesterday, I took some pictures. I was walking along a path, and there was a deer there. And normally deers run away when you pass them. That deer stood, and she posed for me. So
Oh.
I have multiple pictures of that deer, and so my song is going to be it's the deer is going to be symbolic of something,
Hmm.
and I'm thinking of the word pose and how I can write a song about posing, how we all pose for the
Oh.
picture, you know.
Nice.
Um,
Right. Right.
so I'm
That
thinking
can get
that,
real deep, real quick. Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And then I'm always walking along paths or biking along paths with water.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking about water and how it makes me feel. So
I
those are
was
just notes.
reading this thing yesterday about selfies and
Mm-hmm.
how they became really popular. I think in 2002,
Ah,
and also how they did a study that related the amount of selfies people took with depression because they were posing so much and they were trying to put forth this image of themselves that didn't exist, hoping for likes. So
yes,
that's a whole different side of posing, right? But like
yes, yes.
sometimes we try to pose for a picture and it's not even true.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course.
And
Yeah.
maybe through this virus we can learn something.
We can, well, the whole Facebook phenomenon is that people want to live vicariously through others.
Mm-hmm.
People always put their best face on Facebook. They always talk about the best things that happen in life. So it's a little bit of a, you know, an illusion. But you know, illusions sell. That's why movies work and
That's true.
stories work. I mean, this is just the life we live. So,
Oh,
but
that's so true.
but
I
absolutely.
wonder if there's gonna be a shift where real sells. You know, I think that's what's going on with like TikTok or something like that, where everything is so real and not produced that people are
Yes.
relating to that a little bit more. I don't know.
Sure. Well, we're all, you know, Avatar, the movie Avatar, just sort of broached that. We're all kind of a image of something else.
Oh,
Yeah,
true, true.
yeah. I mean, we all in this life, we all try to be something that, you know, the clothing industry tells us how to dress. The cosmetic industry tells us we shouldn't grow old. We need to do this and do that. I mean, it's all about this perception. And if anything, I hope that comes out of this is that I hope that we learn to be ourselves, true to who we are. And
Right.
I get that so much in nature. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you just look at nature, the seasons changing, the leaves fall and they fall off in the fall and then they come back in spring. And if we can just kind of connect more with that,
Mm-hmm.
I think our lives would be happier.
And I think
I
few
think we'd
people
be
in the
happier.
world are as good as you of being true to themselves because you took your life and you said, okay, stop. I'm gonna change this whole thing around and I'm gonna
Yeah.
sing and I'm gonna make
Oh,
albums and videos.
yeah. I had to. It was either that or die, and I didn't like that option too well.
Yeah, that
So,
sounds unpleasant.
oh no, I thank you for that, but I feel good. I think my parents passed in 2010 and 2012. I think they're talking to me. I
Oh
think they're
wow,
breathing.
I
I
do.
think they're breathing a new life into me, and
Oh wow, through the music and everything.
through the music, definitely. My father was just an amazing musician. He played the guitar and he wrote songs, and my mother
Wow,
supported him. And
that's
you know what? I found a box in my garage of a lot of his stuff, and I got to get it to you. You have to look
I will
at
definitely.
his some of the stuff he wrote, the music, not so much the lyrics, but the music that he wrote. I'll get it to you. I'll
I
get
would
it to you.
love to hear
Yeah,
it.
because he
Yes.
was, and this is a guy who only went to the eighth grade, and he
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any formal music training. He
Mm-hmm.
just got a lot of books, and he was self-taught, but he learned to write music.
Wow.
So he was pretty phenomenal, and I wish I had gotten what he was trying to tell me when I was a little girl. So I'm trying to get it
Mm-hmm.
now. So, and
That
I'm
makes
going to
sense.
get it.
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah.
determined. I'm going to get it. So
I think you already got it. I
it's,
wonder because I think that that's an area of your life that I don't know much about. So, could you
yeah.
tell me a little bit about your dad and like
Oh,
how he was?
my dad was, so he grew up in the harsh South, right? He
Mm-hmm.
was born in the 20s, and it was right after Jim Crow period, and life in North Carolina was hard. His father was a farmer, but it was brutal for him. So he ran away when he was 15, and he joined the army.
My goodness.
And he
Oh,
shouldn't have even been able to join because he was a child, right?
right.
But he joined. He was a very tall, attractive man, 6'2", very muscular.
Oh
He
wow.
was very, very athletic. He could swim. He could play baseball. He boxed. I mean, he was just amazing. So he joined the army, and he went to Italy. He fought along. This was during World War II. He saw. I don't know. Mussolini was a dictator at the time, and
Right.
he saw Mussolini hung at the square. I mean, he saw so much. He fell in love with this Italian girl,
Mm-hmm.
and her parents didn't like him, right? So that
Oh
broke his
no.
heart. So he got out of the army, all right?
Right.
He came back home, and he saw that the racist South hadn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
So he re-enlisted, this time in the Air Force.
Oh wow.
And so by that time, he met and married my mom. My mom, they had known each other as kids, and they
Ah.
got married. Of course, he left her in North Carolina because he was back in the war, and then he was in the Korean War. So he was in three
Wow.
world wars. So he was in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. So by that time, during the Vietnam War, just after the Korean War, then my he started a family, my sisters
Mm-hmm.
and myself. And so we would travel with him. I lived in Korea for a short while, but most of the time we stayed on a my grandfather's farm in North Carolina. So he would when he had time, he would come back home. So a lot of the time he was gone. But we lived on a farm with my grandfather, and so I learned everything about farming. I can do farming. I picked tobacco. My father had tobacco. He had cotton fields. He had hogs. I know how to slop hogs. And we just had a wonderful time. And then we lived on various military bases all over the United States. The only foreign base was in Korea. But then
Wow.
while all of that was happening, he decided he wanted to sing.
Mm-hmm.
So he auditioned for something called Tops and Blues. And Tops and
Mm-hmm.
Blues was the organization within the military structure that would go and entertain the soldiers because they were all over the world away from their families. So he got involved in Tops and Blues. While he was singing, he decided he wanted to play the guitar. So he was self-taught. And he just went around singing and playing the guitar in Tops and Blues. So he was amazing. And so while we were growing up, of course, my mother was just so against the music thing.
She was.
She really didn't understand it. At that time, she thought that, you need to find a way to support your family. So
Right,
when he
right.
got out of the military in 1969, she said, "How are you going to?" So by that time, you had the Supremes, and I think the Jackson Five were coming along. And my father thought, "I got all these kids. You guys could be that." And my mother said, "No way." She just totally dissuaded us. So
Wow.
the whole notion of being a musician just wasn't something that we even thought about. So we went on to college, and
Wow.
my brothers joined the military. My sisters went into government. And I said, well, I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to college. I want to
Mm-hmm.
own something.
Right.
So I went to college, got a business degree, and I started a little business. But my father was still singing. He was a much older person, but he sang in church, and he was,
Right.
he just kept music, and there was always music around the house. But
Mm-hmm.
we didn't really embrace it. So he died in 2012. And
Mm-hmm.
at his eulogy, I said, you know what, Dad, I've decided that I'm going to do this music somehow. Somehow, I'm going to
Wow.
do it. Well, it took me 5 years to figure it out, 4 or 5 years. But then I decided I wanted to sing. and
That's beautiful.
but he so now he's gone, and I just feel him every single day.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to me, and he says, you did a good job, but you can do better. So that's all
Mm.
I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be the musician that he was. I'm trying to honor him with something that he always wanted one of us to do. So
That's
that's
so
what gets me
amazing.
up in the morning, you know. And I
Right,
think he'd
yeah.
be proud. I think he'd be proud of me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm
I
proud of
think
you.
he'd be proud, you know. So
Yeah, and I am not
so
even that
that's
far.
Bob Dixon. That's so I'm trying to create a legacy, and I have these big visions, Philippe. I want to have a music organization with we can call it the Bob Dixon Foundation, and help music students. I mean, I have all these big plans. I don't know if I have enough time. You know, I'm an old
Wow.
person,
Yeah,
but I just have all
no.
these grandiose plans of how we can expand this music. And then I meet you. You're a young guy, right? So you got lots of time. So I'm hoping that when I'm gone, you can carry on. You know, a piece of what I hope can happen. So
Yeah.
I got I got plans. So but he used to say to me, it's nice to sing other people's stuff, but
Hmm.
create your own, because just as they created the music and people are singing it, people will do the same for your music. So may
Hmm.
not get recognition now, but maybe 10, 20 years from now,
Yeah, of
someone will be
course.
recording. And so I meet you. So
Mhm.
I think my father somehow led me to you. Honestly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Honestly, I do. I think the spirit. I mean, of course, we met through Dave Marsh,
Yes, which is
but
awesome.
it's been such a lovely collaborative union that
Hmm.
I think it's rare. I don't know what you
Oh
think,
yeah.
but for me, it's very rare. So I just think that all things are lined up just the way they're supposed to be.
Yeah, of course. Always. Yeah, there's always. Well, I'm super Christian in the way I think, right? And
Yeah,
I always think that there's a plan and things go right. And I think
yeah,
that that's what happened in my life when you came in.
mhm,
It's just a huge blessing just to do the music and just do what I love with
yeah,
people I love. Right? We got you, we got
yeah,
Douglas, we got
yeah.
Chuck,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all this like
All those
amazing
amazing guys.
Daryl, and
Yeah.
then Mikkel.
Mhm.
These guys are
Mhm.
all family.
Yeah.
So
They're
it's just cool to have these
yeah.
cool people around.
Awesome
And
musicians.
yeah.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
the
And
oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say there's just such a good vibe when I get with you guys and stuff. It's just it's amazing. It's so much fun, and I miss that so much.
I do too.
I'm having such a hard time
Oh,
not
but
seeing you guys.
yes.
It's very difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird to be so far from people and they're
Yes.
close
Yes.
because in Brazil, well, I came from Brazil when I was 13. So my
Mhm.
friends were all far, like miles, and I would never see them. I haven't seen them in 14 years. But
Mhm.
now I have these friends who are 15 minutes away, like Chuck, and I haven't seen him in so
Well, you
long.
can't see them. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
right.
I
So it's
know.
just
I know.
it's weird. But
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is that what's amazing is that your brother is also a really good singer.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So my yeah,
Yeah.
so there's six of us.
Right.
And so but my brother looks just like my dad. Oh my God, just like him.
Oh.
And he sings like him. So I didn't find out that Ronald he lives in Kansas. He's moving here, by the way. He called
Yeah,
me
that's so
over the
cool.
weekend, and he's going to move here. So yeah, I'm in real estate, and he was asking me for my advice. So he'll by the end of the year he should be here.
Wow.
So, but he was in the military. He was career military, and
Mm.
I didn't realize he was singing until about 2 years ago. So and he sings so well, and so
Yes.
I invited him. We did the jazz festival in February, right?
Hmm.
And he's amazing. So
Yeah.
we have decided that, and I lined up three gigs for us. We were going to do these three gigs,
Yeah, of course. Right, right.
and we were going to line up more. He's got a friend in South Carolina who has a club down there, and we were going to work on that, getting down there. Um, so I didn't, I mean, he was watching my dad so closely. Not only does he sing well, but he's extremely athletic, just like my
Oh,
dad was. So it's just, so we've decided that we're the ones that have to carry on the tradition, that
that's
have to
beautiful.
create the legacy. So it's just great. It's brought us so close because he left home. He joined the military when he was 18,
Oh, so
and I
young.
really, all those years, I really didn't see him that much. He's younger than he's a couple years younger, and I didn't see him that much. But now we're together, and I know my dad would be happy. Plus, he used to beat me up all the time when I was a little girl. I used to be
Oh
mad at him.
no.
When he left, I was happy that he left, you know.
Right.
But now, you know, so he's retired. I'm retired. So now we've come together. It's so wonderful.
That's insane.
It's amazing.
Wow, the way things work out,
The way
right?
things work out. Yeah,
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 right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure your dad would be
Yeah. Oh,
extremely
I
happy.
know. I know my mom is too.
Oh
I
yes.
know my mom is too.
Yeah, yeah, and it sounds like your mom was a lot like my mom, because when I told her I
Yeah.
wanted to be a musician, she was like, "What about the kids? What about my how are
How
they
you
gonna
going to
feed
eat,
themselves?"
right?
Right? Exactly. So I
Yeah.
definitely I understand where she was coming from.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
mothers seem to be the level-headed one. Because my
Right.
mother used to say, you must always have your own money, and you must always have some money put away when something happens. She used to say that all the time. And my father wasn't that good with money. He would
Oh yeah.
spend money. He was generous. Somebody needed money, he'd give it away, you know, not thinking, well, what about us?
Yes,
And
that's
my
me.
mother used to get so angry with him. So
Oh no.
she would tell us, always have your own money. Even if you get married, always have your own money.
Right.
Because see, my mom never worked, and so
Oh wow.
she was always at his mercy. But she said, don't you be like that. She used to tell me that. I'm sure she told my sisters, but she used to tell me all the time. So I'm happy for that. So now
Oh
I
yes.
have her wisdom, and
And his
I can
art.
and his art. So
Yes.
it's cool.
That's beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
fortunate to have a person like Amanda in my life, which is my
Yes.
fiance. And
So
then
yes,
she's great at these things. She's like, okay, so
good.
if we spend this much, and she can know dates, she doesn't forget things. I am all over the place, and if somebody needs
Mm.
money, I give it to them. I have no idea how much money I have ever. I have no clue. I like playing guitar and singing, and
That's
it's
it,
like
right?
right.
Nothing else matters, right?
Nothing else matters. Nothing else at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with this grounded people, right?
Sure.
So
Yeah, well,
like
you
Mary,
have to have a yin and a yang. You have to have a
right?
yin to your yang. That's how it works.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yes, somebody who's grounded, so as that are flying all over the
right,
place.
so you can fly all over. So you can
Yes.
soar. So you can soar.
Yeah,
And
of course, of
and
course.
they're there supporting you, even though they have some reservations. But the
Yes,
support is
right.
there. The
That
support.
support is so important.
It's very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
It's
So
very
so
important.
who do you feel has? Do you have people in your life who you feel like have been supporting you a lot through this?
I do, you know, of course I'm divorced, and you know, it's interesting. I think my ex-husband would be very proud of this. I
Oh.
wish he'd stuck around long enough.
Hmm.
But, and I think in a very quiet way, he might be supportive. But my son, oh my God, he's my son and my daughter and my granddaughter. Oh my God, they are my biggest fans.
That's
They are so
beautiful.
supportive when I don't feel well, they'll come and check on me. My granddaughter, you know, she's you know, the kids know how to do everything on
Oh
computers.
yeah.
So she'll get me on this TikTok thing and we'll dance and sing songs and make funny faces. So that's her way of cheering me up. My daughter is the intellectual and she'll always say, "Go deep, mommy, go deep." Right.
Nice.
And then my son will say, "You can do anything. You can do anything." So when you got those kind of people behind you, oh my God, you're always sailing. You know, you're always soaring. So I bet
Yes.
they're my support system. So I'm
That's
very
so
fortunate.
cool. I think that's
Yeah.
a trademark for successful people in a way. They have a
Sure.
wonderful family, right? And
Yes.
wonderful people who are always
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And I remember when I started with music, I told my mom freaked out. She was like, "My goodness, the kids!" But she's always been supportive.
Kids.
Right? How am I gonna have grandkids and that stuff?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
my dad, it came to me and he was like, "Philippe, if you believe in yourself and if you practice really hard, you're gonna be the best at your field and you're gonna be able not the best in your field, but if you be your best, your very own best, then you're gonna get somewhere.
Hmm.
And I believe
Hmm.
in you, so go ahead, be a musician." I wanted to go to Berkeley at the time, which was like $300 trillion on semesters to study or
Yeah.
something like that. It was crazy. I would never be able to do it.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Philippe, if you want to do it, I'll support you."
Oh,
And
wow.
that's all I needed. So they had I think it was not a farm, but they had a piece of property in Brazil that my grandfather had left to my dad and my sister, I mean, and his sister. And
Hmm.
they sold that, and half of the money was my dad's. They put all of that money into my college for
Oh
music.
my God.
So we had
Mm.
nothing left. and and I
Wow.
think that was beautiful how they supported me and
Sure.
how they made it possible for me to grow as a musician. And
Hmm.
in me
Hmm.
saying that, I almost went crazy, right? I was like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I have to practice and be the best I
Yeah.
can
Yes.
because they gave everything they had. So I have
Hmm.
to give everything I had. And
Hmm.
it's funny because I was 17 and I couldn't play in any other keys other than F and G.
Good
I was,
jazz keys.
yes, right, right. It was, but I didn't know how to play piano well at all, and I was already 17, which is kind of old, and my sight reading wasn't there.
Hmm.
I'm surprised I got into music school,
Hmm.
and I had a teacher, Alan Blackman. He was very supportive, very nice to me,
Oh.
and I just practiced like crazy every day for
Hmm.
13 hours a day for 4 years straight.
Wow. Wow.
And I think it was because of my parents and their belief and their investment in me that made me able to do what I do today and work with you and other amazing
Oh,
musicians.
wow. That's amazing.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So the
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
if we would have a message, I don't know, but if there's a message in all of this talk, I guess it would
Hmm.
be to just love people, right? And
To love people.
yeah, make sure that we're supportive because we never
And
know where the people in our family are gonna get if we just support them.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Oh
right.
yeah. Oh yeah. Love and support. That's the way.
Yeah.
And I think that that carries you so far because along the way, if you have, if you've been kind and gentle and generous to people, those are the very people along the way when you least expect that are going to be there for you. So,
Yes.
and plus it makes you feel good. I mean,
Oh yeah, it does.
to love someone and care is the best feeling in the world.
It really
And
is.
yeah,
Yes.
and music does that. And
Mm,
you know, music gives you exactly what you give it. All
yes.
right. So
That's
I,
so true.
you know, so I want to learn this piano. It's killing me, but I am determined. So
Oh.
when I, you know, the funny thing, when I sit down at the keyboard and I work on, I go maybe two, three, four measures at a time.
Hmm.
When I finally get those measures, it is the most exhilarating.
It is.
It's like a high. I mean, you don't need to get drunk or smoke anything. Just learn an instrument.
Right?
I mean, it is so amazing. And then the joy that it gives other people. I mean,
Yes.
music is the one medium that we all can relate to. So it's just a beautiful
Right.
thing.
Yes.
And most musicians are pretty cool people. You know,
They
we
are.
got a little competition kind of stupid little thing going on.
Sometimes. Yeah.
But by
Yeah.
but by nature, beautiful people that are in touch with a beautiful medium, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I really
Yeah,
am.
same here. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
joy to do
Yes.
music, of course, and then to just have people support.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, yeah. If we
Yes.
were
Yes.
all a little bit more supportive of each other, imagine what we could accomplish.
What we could accomplish together, you
Yes,
know.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very
But
cool.
ego, you know, egos get in the way, and we understand that that's part of nature. But
Yes, sometimes it
if
does.
we could sort of quell that ego and realize that we're all on the same road
Hmm.
and we could all go much faster. It's like a train with many cars. We could get there
Right, yeah.
much faster. But
That's so true. I've
yeah.
always been into business, believe it or not.
Hmm.
Being all this scattered, and I
Yes.
took this business class years ago
Hmm.
online because I used to be in all these online classes for random online classes
Hmm.
like calculus and like
Hmm.
unnecessary things. But I've
Hmm.
always loved to study. Anyway, so this business class was about introducing this new model of business
Hmm.
because apparently the teacher talked about how in the old model people would try to be the best and
Hmm.
shove everybody under the bus, right? That was the idea. But
Yeah.
now people are seeing that through business we can unite and have a
Absolutely.
business that is good not only for the stockholders but for the employees and for the CEO and
All
for the
right.
customers as well.
That's right.
Yeah, and I thought that was so cool. That changed my life into
Sure.
just thinking about how we don't have to be better than anybody else, right? There is
Hmm.
no need.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different and we can
Hmm.
support each other and we'll
Absolutely.
go a lot further with that
Sure.
support mindset.
Sure. I mean, without there's no business without customers, right? I mean,
No,
there's no
yeah,
business, right?
no business at all.
And without people who love your music and who come out to see you and buy tickets, there'd be nothing.
Yes,
So we have to be cognizant, forever cognizant of that, and share the love and be inclusive. It's okay to be inclusive.
yes,
You know,
right.
there really is enough for everyone.
Yeah, there's
So
a lot of people.
yeah,
Eh,
so I'm hoping from this COVID-19, if we learn nothing else, we can learn that love and support is all we really need.
right, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure. Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be a good ending note for
That's a good ending note.
to be honest,
Yes.
because that's
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's good seeing with you, chatting with you, my friend. I do miss
yeah.
our Thursdays. So when this thing is over, we got to get back to Thursdays.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
will for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I think now that my school is over, we
Mm-hmm.
can at least meet every Thursday.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
even if it's doing this and just talking about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can write. I want to work on the trees.
Yeah. We got to finish. We got to get Fallen Trees out. It's an amazing song,
Yeah.
and we got to get that out there because people need it. People need our
Yes.
music.
Yeah,
They
we need
do.
our music.
We need our music.
Imagine others. Yeah, of
Yes.
course. Yeah, it's gonna be a
All right.
joy. So
Okay. Well,
cool.
thanks so
Yeah.
much. Tell everyone I said hello.
I
All
will. Yes,
right.
I will.
Okay.
And you tell
Okay.
everyone the same.
I will. All
Cool.
right.
All
Take
right.
care of yourself.
You too.
All
Bye.
righty.